Good morning, good Americans. Welcome to Prescott, Arizona, where we are live. It's good to see you here today. Got some good stuff coming at you. All right, we're going to be talking another World War II battle, one of my favorites to study. I've been on the ground there. I've walked all over. We're going to be talking, the context is the Battle of the Bulge, but within that battle is another battle that took place, which was a phenomenal stand by a single American division. Now, if you know anything about the Battle of the Bulge, this started in December of 1944. About the 16th, the Germans launched 35 divisions along an 85-mile front into the Ardennes forest. It was being defended by 4 American divisions, which were kind of depleted. They were there kind of as to get a rest, to get away from the action, to rest and to recuperate and to build back combat power. And I think 2 of them were actually brand new divisions in theater, so they were kind of put there to test their mettle a little bit and get them a little experience on the front. So 35 divisions launch into the Ardennes forest here and completely, I'll be honest, folks, the 4 American divisions weren't ready and were just overrun. And the German forces began sweeping through the Ardennes, and they were closing in on a town called Bastogne. Now, Bastogne was a crossroads town. If the Germans grabbed Bastogne, they would have a complete control of the area, because they would have the supply lines would be able to. They'd be given. Let me start that again. They would be able to get supplies to all different areas of their new front and their new offensive here. So the town had to be held to stop the German logistics. So what happened was the 101st Airborne was brought in. They brought in not on planes. It wasn't an airborne operation, but they were brought in on trucks and placed in Bastogne to basically hold the crossroads there. And it was hold the crossroads at all costs. Now, there were a few elements of the 10th Armored Division there, which obviously helped out. You had some armor on the ground. But Bastogne itself, which the battle began on the 20th of December, was attacked by 10 German panzer divisions. All right, so I'm kind of running some numbers here. You got 10 panzer, that's tank divisions, against 1 lone airborne division. Wow. We're talking, what, insurmountable odds here? I mean, how is this going to work out? And the town was surrounded. There was no getting reinforcements into these guys. They just had to dig in and defend the town, defend the area against the German onslaught, which, by the way, never happened. They threw panzer after panzer, tank after tank, infantry after infantry at the 101st Airborne in Bastogne, and they never gained any ground. Never. They were stopped cold at Bastogne, and finally on the 27th, Patton fought his way up and helped to relieve the 101st there in Bastogne. And basically by the 27th, the Battle of the Bulge was turning around. American forces were counterattacking and just crushing the evil German forces right where they lay. Beautiful. It's just beautiful, folks. It's just a beautiful moment to see our forces do this. And if you read the accounts of these guys, they went into this without winter clothing. They were actually kind of off. I believe they were in France. It was a little warmer there. They didn't have the big parkas and stuff or anything, any warm clothing at all. They only went in with their basic load, and they basically had gotten some of their supplies that were already stationed there in Bastogne, because it was a logistical hub. So they did have, ammo and stuff, but they were down to the wire. They were out in a perimeter around Bastogne, just living in foxholes. And every time the Germans would attack, it'd be artillery, followed by tanks approaching, followed by infantry, and they just hunkered down and repelled the German forces. It was amazing. It just shows It shows the American spirit, folks. It shows the American soldier at his best, out there, able to go up against insurmountable odds. You see it throughout history, folks. It's clear what we got on the ground and what God has given us in here, our spirit, what we go forth and show, not only on the battlefield, but to the world, that America is truly an awesome place, a place that you can't beat it anywhere. Friend posted on Facebook today, if you ever actually deploy and go to these foreign countries that everybody thinks so great, once you get there and you live there for a little while, you're going to find out, not at all, not even close to what you find here in this country on the ground here. Now, what's our spiritual reality for today? Folks, situation arose with the prophet Elisha, and the story comes from 2 Kings in chapter 6. It seems to be Elisha was assisting the king of Israel, and Israel was under attack from a country called Aram. And Elisha had moved into this, was traveling along, and he came to this town. And the king of Aram surrounded the town because he wanted to get the man of God and stop him, because he understood Elisha's power as a prophet and leading and giving advice to the king of Israel. And during the night, this army surrounds the town. This huge army surrounds the town. And Elisha's assistant goes out, and he's like, oh my goodness, we are in trouble. We are surrounded by an enemy army. So this is kind of how it goes here. So 2 Kings 6:15. When the servant of the man of God rose early in the morning and went out, behold, an army with horses and chariots was all around the city. And the servant said, alas, my master, what shall we do? He said, do not be afraid, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them. Then Elisha prayed and said, O Lord, please open his eyes that he may see. So the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. Folks, when we're up against insurmountable odds as believers, as Christians in our life, whatever it may be we're up against, whether problems at work, whether problems at home, whether just plain how we show our witness to the world, any problem in life, apply it here. And it feels like you are up against insurmountable odds. Those who stand with you are greater than those that come against you. This servant's eyes were open to the reality of what was going on the ground there. Yes, they were surrounded by enemy forces, but all around them was a host of heaven, just waiting to keep Elisha safe, and to win the battle for the Lord. It's out there. It's all around us every day. If your spiritual eyes were open to what God has with you, you would be amazed. It says that he does protect us with angels. The word says that he is with us as we go. I've told you before, we win in the end. Those with us on the spiritual side are greater than those with us in the world, folks. And now, granted, if God ever opens your eyes, you're going to see something pretty cool that's surrounding you. But if you're out there and your purpose is to witness for Christ, if your purpose is the gospel, if your purpose is to live a good Christian life and be strong in the Lord, God's with you. He's with you in everything. Not only just kind of, I guess you would say, what's going on in the angelic spiritual world, but the fact that Jesus Christ himself, who calls you by name, who created the world out of nothing, stands with you. Oh, there's no question. There's no question of how it's going to come out in the end, folks. It's a no-brainer on that one. All right, folks. God's with us, even in insurmountable odds. He stands next to us, and he's ready to fight on our behalf so that his purpose may be accomplished and his glory may be seen on this earth. Folks, it is so good to talk to you today. Folks, go forth and do good out there. Stand up for your faith. stand up for your country too. Love this country, love this place, and walk like lions.